Is that something
Yeah.
that can be possible?
Yeah.
Shape manipulation, heart
So
shapes,
as
you know?
far as yeah, so I mean, if what you want is to take out like a cylinder and kind of punch the side of it to make it look like a crush can or something like that, like
Yeah,
that
something like that.
that is, I don't know why that example came to my mind, but like doing that kind of deformation is not possible at the moment. But what you
At the
can
moment.
what people
Mhm.
have done that I think is very clever is if you put an object inside a group, uh, the group now becomes the thing, like you've sort of shifted the XYZ axis. So like imagine, for
Right.
example, you put an object in diagonally and then group that so that now, like, up and down is like you can start to distort shapes in really interesting ways.
Okay.
So that's a workaround that people have found to kind of create, yeah, new shapes that we don't actually provide. But as far as like mesh deformation, um, yeah, that we just I don't know. Do you have any other ideas about how that we might be able to,
Um,
like, if there's any cool hacks or workarounds?
yeah, I think right now, you might just use a lot of extra geometry to try and capture that look. But
Yeah.
a
I
feature
definitely
like
will
that,
challenge myself.
yeah, a feature like that we can take back to the developers, and
Mhm.
because it's
So
it's a
one
really
more
cool
thing, I don't want to
shape.
be long-winded, excuse me. I know we got a lot of people online here. So one thing I've noticed is, of course, there's so many worlds being created, and everybody, like you go to a world and you go to that world and there's nobody there. You see this world that somebody's worked on, right? And you just have a functional world, but there's nobody there. Will this
Mhm.
continue? Could kind of like I see this becoming a norm where you have all these worlds created but no one to fill the space, and that's like the one gap I'm noticing in the whole meta deal is that
Mm.
you can be as creative as you want, but it's like now
Mhm.
there's just a surplus of worlds and feels like not enough people to keep in them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really interesting comment. I guess my feeling on all of this is that these are early days. All of you,
Right, right. I
are
agree.
really at the beginning of all of. I mean, like, even the fact that this is still an invite-only beta, right? Like, this is
Right,
all real new. And
right,
so,
right.
for better or worse, you're kind of on this journey, uh, to see how things go. And so, as far as like the population of Horizon, that will increase, almost
Hmm.
certainly. Um, but for now, it's a relatively small community. So we'll see how things go
They're trying to vote
as
out the
we go
guy that's
forward.
asking questions.
One more quick one. As far
Mhm.
as the evolution of meta is concerned and the avatars concerned, do you see a point where our avatars become everything's very cartoonist. It's very original right now how we look. But it's still a traditional avatar, and everybody's kind of consistent with the feature and the lighting curve and all that. Do you see a point where our avatars will be more customizable? As in, I want, let's say, to look like a GI Joe, and somebody wants to look like He Man, but like a different like texture. Everything's very
Mhm.
similar.
Mhm.
Everything's very cartoonish. Do you see a world, and I hate to go through this as an example, but it's very cliche, but Ready Player One, the images of the avatars are very defined and very personal. Is that something that will progress to, or is this where we're at, and this is what the identity of the meta and Horizons will always look like? And then I'm done. I'm gonna back off so the next person come up. Take care, guys. Thanks for answering my questions.
Yeah. I think the question of avatars, it's not the team that we're on. It's because these avatars are like Oculus, like they are system level, and you can start taking them to other experiences outside of Horizon as well. And I know we're still early days with the avatars as well. It's a this iteration of avatars came out like I think last year or so.
Hmm.
So,
Gosh,
um,
I think they're newer than that even. I mean, they're pretty
oh
recent.
really? Oh, this
think
year,
so.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Time is weird, so
Yeah.
Well, either way, I
I'm
hope you enjoy the
so
process.
Mhm.
Having
yeah,
a blast. Thank you guys for your time. I
Oh,
appreciate you all.
yeah.
Hey, shoot me an
Um,
ad. I'm super social. Thanks, guys.
um, I think did you, PJ? Did you cut in line? I feel like I maybe saw that
You
you cut
sure
in line,
did.
and that's not very nice to do.
Wasn't gonna say anything, but
I support
Yeah.
Zuckerberg, so it
you guys
should
can
be
hear me
okay.
okay?
Yeah.
I don't have too many questions, but so I'm going to start to try to create soon. I actually did start the tutorial, but I don't know, I was exhausted or something that day. But is there ever going to be like when I envisioned this, it was going to be, where we're all in the tutorial together and we actually have someone we can ask questions on how to do things. Is there ever going to be, a session that we could do that?
Uh,
Like,
yeah. I mean, it's so. In other words, rather than being in this auditorium here, we're all actually building together. Is that what you mean?
kind of,
Yeah.
kind of like the tutorial, but like having someone that you can actually ask questions if you have questions, and they can kind of show you how to do things and
Cool.
something like that.
I see. Yeah. I mean, it's a great idea. I think that the big thing is just scalability. So, always having people around that can do the tutorials, like, that
That's true.
that may be
Right.
tough, but I think
Mhm.
that there's probably an option for scheduling and, kind of saying, all right, just like this, right? It's like show up at this time,
Right. Yeah.
and maybe help out. One other thing that we could start to do again is we used to do breakout sessions occasionally, where
hmm
if one person had a question that was particularly tough, one of us would go and actually work on the world together. So, I don't know if that's something we want to do tonight, but it's something that we can bring back as like a way to kind of integrate into these.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. That's all.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
You're
don't
welcome.
mean to jump out, speak out of turn or whatnot, but just to her comment, just collaboration, I think, is the best way to go about trying to accomplish
Learning like
that.
that.
If you
Mhm.
collaborate with somebody who may know a little more, or has
See
done
if that
one or
dude
two more
gets
worlds than
booted.
you have,
Ziggy.
that might
Mhm.
be a good way to
Hey.
do that. So
I was wondering with
I'm open for
rotations, is
collabs.
there a way to pull just one axis out? Kind of like, with vectors where you do
Oh.
like a vector of X or a vector of Y.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like, say I pull a rotation of an object, but I just want the Y vector, the Y
Like
rotation?
the yaw or something. Yeah.
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 I think there are code blocks for X of rotation or Y of rotation or Z of rotation. I think so, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't say. But I mean, there probably should be if there's not. But
Yeah.
anyway, I actually don't know at the moment if that exists. But
Oh,
if
okay.
if it does, I would definitely be in the same place as finding the y of x, y, or z of the x, y, or z of of the position. It would be around that same area.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's about all I had. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. Okay,
Hello.
so is there anywhere where I can actually read like any literature on the scripting that I could just like bust through and read the whole book on like tutorials? Is there any literature or anything that I can read, or is it all just visual like YouTube video style tutorials?
Let me see.
I believe it's mostly video at this point. There is a page that has a listing of all the code blocks and like a short description for them. But like my personal dream is that like somewhere in the near future, there's like, the O'Reilly book that you can like order on Amazon of like, learning Horizon scripting, and that would make my
Yeah,
day.
that's what I'm kind
but-
of hoping for.
Yeah, but as of now, that I don't believe that exists. So for now, it's whatever's online.
Okay, so where are the best place to find tutorials? Do you recommend any on YouTube or anywhere else? Anyone I should follow or check into?
video.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
Sorry.
There's two places that I can recommend right now. One, there's a channel on YouTube. The creator is Vidyuu, Vidyuu, and he makes a lot of he goes into every code block, and he covers all of the new stuff that's come out. And then the other place is the Horizon World Community Facebook group. They're one of the they have a link to I think the latest learning resource. I can't find it right now, but I think if you go there, there's
Okay.
Oh, you mean the videos that were just
This.
published? Yeah, there were. I don't
Yeah.
know the URL. I imagine it's on the community, the Facebook community page, but I mean the Horizon community page. But there are a whole bunch of new videos that are produced internally for creation tools, scripting in particular. So yeah, if you haven't looked recently, I would definitely take a look. There's a lot of really new good tutorials
God.
out there now.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Hey, before we take the next question, I'm noticing this side game that seems to be going on where people are just randomly getting told to remove. I don't know what's going on, but can we it just seems like there's an awful lot of polling to remove for people that don't seem like they're doing anything wrong to me. So, could we knock it off? Cool. Eltram 333. How you
Okay,
doing?
question about. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Because I heard about the competitions. I want to know when it's gonna happen, and like, is there a specific thing we have to do or make?
Yeah. I can talk about the new competition. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
if you want, there's a lot of information at the Hub World. So to go to the
Mm-hmm.
Hub World, you can go to attend and then join event. The top
Mm-hmm.
one is the launchers competition. There's also a door in the
Mm-hmm.
plaza. So there's lots of information there about the competition. So this is the first competition, and it's about creating a mechanic, specifically a launcher.
Oh.
So there's a lot of specifics about it, and you can find that information there, or you can find it on the Horizon World Community Facebook page. There'll be a post about it there.
So I can it's not about making building something nice or anything. It's just about
But
launchers.
it's a very specific. It's about building a launcher, like a crossbow or a cannon or
okay.
something like that. So it can be anything that just shoots a projectile of some sort, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Thank you.
I think there's more to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm stepping down here. Yeah, I'm stepping down here because I'm using my teacher voice now. There are some of us in this community who feel that this is an incredible opportunity, that we are fortunate and lucky to be here. And I find that your conduct is offensive and rude. And I'm going to ask that I'm going to follow up with these creators that they find a way to moderate these sessions, because this should be a professional community where we're here to learn from each other. To watch you punch another person in the face over and over was disgusting to watch. Please conduct yourselves professionally in this place. This is ridiculous to have to watch while I'm here to learn. This is an opportunity that we have been granted, and this is ridiculous. Remove yourselves.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, thanks. Holy. Yeah, how did you do that? There we go.
Thank you.
Something where you can clap.
Really appreciate it.
Sorry, everybody, to use my teacher voice. I don't like to use it very often.
That was an amazing teacher voice.
It was
wow.
awesome.
Thank you.
That was just egregious.
So,
Agreed.
yeah.
I'm talking to my
So
Mister.
with that, I guess we'll open it back up to questions. Very much appreciated. Anybody have any other questions?
Sorry.
I guess I will talk a little bit, if it's okay, about the
Oh my goodness.
Who keeps doing this removing thing? Who's that?
I want to talk a little bit about the competition. Actually, I don't know nearly as much as you do, Chelsea, about it, but what I can talk a little bit about are some of the tools that you have in the creator tools to do, that may help you out with the competition. So if you haven't looked too much at the code blocks, there is a code block in there that says launch from. And what you can do is you can put an object. It takes 3 parameters. One is the object you want to launch. The second is where it's going to launch from. So that's another object. And then the third is how fast you want the object to be launched. So this is stuff that you can do yourself using our physics blocks if you like, but this is one block that kind of does all of that for you, and it's very handy. And so this is a good opportunity to play with that. If nothing else, it's pretty easy to make guns and that kind of thing with it. The other is we did launch. We do have the new gizmo, right? Am I allowed to talk about that?
Projectile gizmo.
Okay, yeah. So there's a new projectile gizmo that you can play with, which also makes this act of trying to, make guns or shooters or that kind of thing a lot easier. And it's really super useful if it's doing exactly what you want. But if you find that you want to customize it more than that gizmo is going to allow you to do, then that's where you can go back to scripting, and you can do pretty much the same stuff in scripting as well. Hopefully that's helpful.
You answered my
There's
question.
also the option to use a raycast, right?
Yeah. What's that?
With the raycast, do I have to script for it, or you just use it normally, or how do I use it?
So again, sorry for this. We that is out, right? That is something that we can talk about. Okay.
I think so. It is because it's allowed for the competition, so I think it's out.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, cool. Yeah, so there's a raycast gizmo. The raycast gizmo has its own code blocks that you use to get the information from the raycast. So you have to use the raycast gizmo, and the gate and the raycast code blocks together in order to get what you want. But what you would do is it's if you've used raycasting for in any other programs, it's pretty much the same thing. You have to send out the rays and see what it hits, and then you can figure out if it's hitting anything that you care about, if anything at all, and then do something with that result. So yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see the raycast being fun for like a laser or something like that, where you don't really have like a thing that's going through space. It's more just about you're in the line of sight of this thing. Yeah, that could be really cool.
Yo, you guys seen the Spider-Man 3 trailer?
I have not. Is it out?
Yeah, they made a new one. It came out just now, and I'm freaking excited, dude.
No spoilers,
Oh
please.
yeah. I heard about it.
Hi, Leo.
All 5 Spider-Man.
Just real quick question as far as avatars are concerned and the appearance. Will there be any updates? Because it seems like the variety for your clothing and whatnot is very limited. Is there an update or something that we can expect that'll give us a little more, customization or individuality, if you will?
Dilly?
Aside from how we look, like physically, but our apparel, it's very limited.
You feel like it's limited right now?
Not the whole time.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
Not the whole
I don't
time.
have any say in that at all, but I can certainly write it down.
It's
and
a curious
see if I can
question.
Get it to the
Yeah,
right people.
I'm saying, yeah. I'm sure I know you guys aren't the gatekeepers, but it's just a curious question. These type of things, and I know this